All right. So my name is Mike. I'm a retail manager, but I'm also a filmmaker. Um, I've been a manager for 18 years with my company. I've been making films since I was a kid. Been writing, directing, producing stuff. Been able to play at a lot of film festivals. Won some awards. It's been very cool. Um, yeah. Right now, I forgot some of the questions. I'm sorry. We're at
That's okay.
yeah.
That's
We're at my
okay.
apartment.
We're
um,
in your apartment.
We're in my apartment. This is my sanctuary where I do all my writing and creative stuff. It's where I get inspired. I watch all these films you see around me. My walls are covered in artwork and horror decor. So my I got my dental surgery done with Dr. Vibert at Pure Dental or Forever Smile. It was something I wanted to do for a long time. I knew I needed to fix a lot of issues. Um, for years, I was so tight financially that there were small things that would come up that even with insurance, I really didn't have the money to fix or was afraid how much it would cost, and so I didn't fix small things. And over time, they became big things. And some things in your mouth, once they start to show, you've already kind of reached the point where like you're past the point of fixing certain stuff. So it was a surgery I knew existed and I knew I wanted it a long time. And when I finally was able to look into doing it, initially when I first looked into doing the surgery, my credit wasn't where I needed to be. My finances weren't really there yet. I had a lot of credit debt still, so I didn't get approved. But I went back and I cleaned up I took out a loan, paid off my credit cards. My credit score shot through the ceiling. Paid that loan off, paid my cards off, and I was able to go back. And this year I was able to get the surgery, and it's been a life changer. I, you know, my smile for a lot of years was the only thing I was insecure about. And when I got this surgery now, my smile is the thing physically that I'm most confident about. So it's great to be able to just walk around and just feel, you know, like you belong anywhere, that you can go up to anybody and talk to them and feel great. So this surgery is life changing, and I couldn't be happier that I did it.
Well, I'm really proud of you.
Thank
First, let
you.
me just say that
Thank you.
personally. That's a huge, huge thing.
Thank you.
Because there are so many people that are in financial trouble.
Sure.
Um, and so many people, I want you to just maybe repeat that a little. So many people avoid going to the dentist because
Sure.
they don't have the money.
Sure. Yeah.
And then you just explained what happens
Yeah.
when you don't go to the dentist.
Yep.
Can you just tell me a little
Sure.
bit
Sure.
about that? Like
Sure.
why you didn't go and get your teeth fixed?
Sure. So for a lot of years, I didn't take care of my teeth as well as I should have, and so I'd have small problems develop. I'd have cavities or something, and I was so tight financially that I was afraid to go to the dentist because I was afraid of what it might cost and that what if I didn't have the money, and so I didn't take care of a lot of small things when I should have. So over time, they became big problems, and then it got to the point where like there were teeth I couldn't save. I needed to get this. I needed to get a surgery to fix my whole smile, and I knew it was something I wanted. I knew it was something that existed. Forever Smile was the first place I went into. I met with the team, and you know, I was super confident in everybody there once I met them, and they made me feel comfortable. And I walked in, it's a state of the art facility. Every single person there is feels like they're the best at what they do. I mean, you would think that like every single person that works there and in every facet of what they do is like you would think they were like handpicked out of like 1,000 people, because they're like the Avengers of dentistry. I mean, they really are the best. And it's one thing. Not only was everybody there completely friendly and completely professional and knew what they were doing, but every single person I've interacted with there was an absolute delight to speak with, and they really make it feel personal. They make you feel like you're the only person that they're seeing, even though, this business is booming. I mean, there's tons of people. They have a lot of patients. A lot of people are getting their teeth fixed, and yeah, Forever Smile is really, I couldn't recommend it high enough. they're a life changer.
Very good. Wow,
Yeah,
you're rocking there, man.
yeah. Oh, I can.
Nice.
Sure, I.
Awesome. Awesome. That was excellent. Okay, so you cleaned up your finances, which is amazing.
Yes.
And you went in. How did you hear about us?
So okay, let me. So I work in the Hamptons, and every single day I drive past the Pure Dental office in Manorville. I drive past it on my way to work. I drive past it on my way home. And so when I started researching, where do I get this type of surgery, they were one of the first names that came up, and they were the first place I went into. And when I went in there, they were the only place I ended up going into. This is a big surgery, and I didn't go to a single other place to see what they were about because I went in there and they knocked my socks off. I went in, like I've been everybody's been to the dentist. I've been to different dentists over the years. I've never been to a place like that had everything. They had everything under one roof. I mean, it was a massive facility. They have everything, state of the art technology. I mean, it was really, I walked in there and I felt great about it. And I was like, I don't need to look any further. This is it. This is where I'm going to do it.
It's amazing.
So, yeah.
That's amazing. That was
Yeah.
excellent.
No,
Thank you.
of
And then
course.
you met Dr. Vibert.
Yes.
He did your consult on you.
Yes. So I met Dr. Vibert. I initially got my consultation back in 2021. And at the time, I knew I wanted the surgery, and I was pretty confident that this is where I wanted to do it. I didn't have the finances at the time. My credit wasn't where it needed to be. I didn't get approved at that time, but I knew I still needed the surgery, and I knew I wanted to get it with Forever Smile. And so I went and I took care of what I needed to do. I paid off my credit cards. And when I went back in 2024, I was approved, and I couldn't sign fast enough.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. And let's see that smile.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful natural
Yeah.
smile. Wow. So you got your finances in order.
I got my finances in order.
And all right, so let's talk about the surgery. Were you nervous before the surgery?
So I was excited leading up to the surgery. This had been a long time coming. The only thing I was really nervous about, honestly, was being put under. I'd never been put under before. That was the only thing. So I went to the doctor, got medically cleared. Doctor said, "Your numbers are beautiful." I said, "Really?" I was like, I wouldn't have thought, but I said, "I'll take your word for it, doc." So, and even the doctor, actually, he kind of, when he looked at my paperwork to see that I was getting the surgery, he saw Dr. Vibert's name. He said, "Oh, the big man himself's doing your surgery." I said, "Yes, he is." So he said, "Oh, I see him on all the commercials." So that was pretty cool. The doctor, he was familiar with Dr. Vibert. He was familiar with the commercials. And yeah, he knew it right when he saw his name on the form. He said, "Oh, the big man himself's doing your surgery." I said, "He is. He's doing it personally."
The big event.
So that was, yeah. He's literally the Avenger. So that was pretty cool. But Dr. Vibert's a very, very nice guy. Very personable. Really knows what he's doing. He makes you feel very comfortable. I had complete confidence in him. I've been happy to refer him to everybody. I mean, I've been talking about it to everyone. Everyone's been asking me about it because they see my smile, and it stands out. It's a complete 180 from where I was, and so everybody's asking me, and believe me, I'm happy to tell them where I got it done, who did it for me, and I can't recommend them enough. It's really been great.
Excellent. So let me just ask you about that fear of the anesthesia, which is
Sure.
a very common fear.
Sure.
And rightly so. I mean,
Sure.
So what put your mind at ease? Did you hear from the anesthesiologist? How
So,
did that?
so I remember going in for the surgery. I walked in the room. The nurse was, setting me up on the chair, and she's hooking the things up, just putting the blankets on, and I'm just talking to her casually, and as I'm talking to her, waiting for the thing to start, I just fall asleep, and I wake up, and it's over, and I was like, oh, okay, so that was easy, that was very easy, it didn't take anything on my part.
I like that. And you spoke
but-
to the anesthesiologist, of course.
Yes,
Did
yeah.
he put you at ease?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, these people are professionals. They know what they're doing. They're the best at what they do. And yeah, I mean, what we might be nervous about is completely routine to them. They do it every day. They know the ins and outs of how this stuff works. and they're they're great at what they do, and
Right.
everything went great for me.
But that still doesn't take away from the fact that you're nervous about,
Sure,
because
a
that's
little
a
nervous, yeah,
real fear. And a lot of people will not want to have the surgery
yeah,
because of that fear. Of course,
yeah,
you don't have to be put to sleep, but like you
sure.
said, you wake up and it's
I
all
wake up and it's
over.
over. I was like, oh, yeah. I mean, that was, and again, that was the only part. Nothing about the surgery itself made me nervous. Nothing about getting teeth pulled or extracted or anything. None of that made me nervous. It was just, what if they put me under and I don't wake up? Like I said, I guess I won't know. But that was the only part that made me nervous. But I,
Were you nervous
every
about the pain?
no, I wasn't actually, and that was one thing that was really good. I mean, they told me, you may experience some discomfort, you may have a little swelling. I actually had no pain and I had no swelling. I had virtually no swelling. Like, sometimes when when you have very slight swelling, where like you can feel a little bit of a fat lip or something like, but you can't even see it in the mirror. That's what I had. So I had like no swelling. I mean, I could feel a little bit, but I couldn't even see it on myself. So nobody could see it on me. So I had no swelling. I had no pain. I didn't get any black and blues under my eye, nothing. I was like a unicorn with this thing. I mean, this thing went perfect. You couldn't have written it better. So it went really well. I had no discomfort, no pain.
And how soon did you go back to work?
Oh, I mean, that was another thing too. So I originally was going to try to schedule the surgery when I had like a week of vacation so I could relax, and like I didn't know, am I going to be able to talk? Am I going to, what's it going to feel like? Am I going to be swollen? And Dr. Vibert in the consult told me, no, it's really not that bad. He's like, you can get it on a weekend and be back to work on a Monday. I'm like, really? And sure enough, I got it done on a Thursday. I was off, obviously for the surgery. I was off Friday. I was off Saturday. And I was back at work Sunday morning, and everything was fine. And I mean, I sat on my couch. I watched some movies. But I just relaxed. I took it easy. But
So no
no
painkillers?
pain. No, they gave me a prescription just in case. They said, hey, just in case, we want to make sure you have what you need. They gave me, the painkillers. Didn't need them. Didn't need them at all. I didn't even have to take a ibuprofen or anything. So
No
yeah,
way.
I'm not kidding. I had no pain at all. So he really,
That's fantastic. I mean,
yeah,
we hear that a lot, but somebody who's never had the procedure would
sure,
anticipate,
sure.
well, one root canal hurt so
Yeah,
much, and
yeah,
now
yeah.
I'm having
Now
all
you're
my
telling me
teeth
you're gonna
done. You would
take,
think that
yeah.
the reason
Believe me,
being,
I have a pretty high pain threshold, but I was prepared for a little bit, or at least some discomfort. I figured it had to be discomfort. I didn't have any. I woke up. I felt. Oh wow, I felt the implants there. They put in the bridges, and I left, and everything felt normal. So it was
how was it? Tell me about how did it feel when you woke up and then they handed you a mirror and you went to sleep with your old smile, with
sure.
your
Yeah,
teeth that were
yeah,
failing, and
yeah,
you woke up what seemed like seconds later
yeah.
and you had this. What did that
It
tell me about that?
it felt great. It felt really great. It felt like my confidence had been restored. It felt like something that had been years in the making, something that I'd been thinking about for a long time and working toward for a long time. And here it was. I was looking myself in the mirror, and I could see that smile again, and it felt great. I mean, uh, I didn't even take a before picture before I got my surgery, because I didn't want to look at that face anymore. I didn't want to see that smile again. I didn't need it. I didn't need a reminder. I didn't want it. And so I didn't take a before picture. But when I got the surgery and I saw the smile looking back at me in the mirror, I felt great. So
You were okay with how it looked, the
yeah,
color and
it
the
looked
shape?
great. And so when you get when you get the surgery and they give you your first set of temporaries, you wear those about 4 months.
Mm-hmm.
They they basically just pick out what they think is going to look great for your face, and they picked this, and I was happy. I didn't need to make any changes. But when you go for your second set of temporaries, you can make any kind of cosmetic changes you want. You can change the shade of the teeth. You can change the size of the teeth. So it's nice to know that you have that option. You have that flexibility where you can make those kind of changes, and you can change whatever you want. And the only thing I did was I went a few shades lighter even with the white, because I figured if it's too white for the final set, I can go back to what I had because I was happy with that. The second set is where you want to make any of those changes because you can play around a little and you can always go back to what you had.
Right, and then live
So
with it for a little while,
yeah,
which is a really important thing because we do have a competitor out there who, when you wake up from the surgery, well, it's 24 hours later, they give you a temporary, and then you go in and they put in the
oh
final.
wow,
So we just feel there's a lot of disadvantages to that being one of them. Besides the
sure,
healing
sure,
process, and
yeah,
Dr. Vibert believes you need those temps in
yeah,
for 6 months before the finals
yeah,
go in. But that's another big reason, so you can look at them and wear them, see how they feel, see how they
yeah,
look,
yeah.
before getting the permanence.
Well, I would say again, I'm not a dentist. I'm just I'm just a I've just come out on the other side of this thing with a new smile. But one thing I think is definitely an advantage of the way that Forever Smile does it is because they allow your gums to heal after the surgery, and now they're taking like a laser scan of your healed gum line, so that when you get your permanence, it's an exact match. It syncs up exactly to the gum line, and so I don't have anything getting between the bridge and my gums. I mean, and I have the water pick and everything, but nothing, and like when I was healing and I had the temporaries, yeah, stuff would get in between and you'd water pick it out and it's fine. But a benefit of having the time to heal is that, now your gums heal and everything becomes the way it's going to be forever. And now you can get a permanent that's going to sync up exactly to that, like a Lego piece,
Right.
And so that I think is definitely a benefit of taking the time. And again, this is why Dr. Vibert is an expert because he knows these things. He's done the work. He's studied this stuff, and he's put together a formula that I think works A to Z the best. And so I think that was an advantage. And I can tell you too. I'm a picky. You wouldn't guess by looking at me, but I'm a picky eater. And so I was a little nervous about the soft food diet. And at first I was a little worried. I was like, oh man, what am I going to eat? But I was, after the first week and I saw Dr. Vibert again, I asked some questions about, is it safe to try to eat this if I cut it up really small? And he was able to answer some questions, real with me, but I found I was able to eat a lot more than I thought I could originally. I thought it was going to be like a famine, for like 6 months. I thought I was going to, I was like, hey, maybe I'll lose 50 pounds too while I'm healing. It'd be really a whole makeover.
A lot of
But
people do. But you know what? A lot of people do say that, but then I say to them, but didn't you have to eat a lot of soft foods when your teeth were
well,
open up? You couldn't eat.
again, I could my teeth were, believe me, man. This is like the Sistine Chapel. If you saw what my befores looked like, I'm telling you, I promise you, I had to be one of his worst. But you know, I could eat a lot. I could eat pretty much everything, honestly, because I knew where to chew, and I knew where to chew to avoid pain. And that's one of the things now that like, and again, I'd cut things up small enough where I wouldn't have to. My teeth didn't have to do all the work because I already cut things up small. People would joke that it looked like I was cutting up my steak for like their kids or something. But no, I mean, now that I got the surgery, man, I can eat everything. I can eat anything. I don't even have to cut it up super small. I can cut it into regular human sized bites and I can eat it. But but
What's the
that's
what's the best thing that you're eating now that you couldn't really enjoy before?
well, okay. So I mean everything. I mean the steaks, the wings, the ribs. Right off the bone. I mean, pizza is like a religious food for me practically. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I did start to cheat a little there, but I cut it up into like half-inch size squares, which would take forever to eat a single slice of pizza. But 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 yeah, being able to pick up a slice of pizza like an American again and just eat it with your hands is a great thing. I love that. But I've been eating everything though, man. I've been checking off all these restaurants in my phone. Just say, okay, I've gotten back here. I've gotten back here. I've tried this place for the first time, so it's been really, really cool.
Excellent. Just tell me a little bit more about your confidence level now and how it feels to just naturally smile when it was such a hindrance before. What does that feel like?
Sure, sure. So for years, when my teeth really started getting bad, I stopped smiling with my mouth open. it became just muscle memory to smile with my closed lips, and that's the way I did it. When I got the surgery, and now I had this beautiful smile here. I had to relearn again how to smile with an open mouth, and now I'm smiling all day. And I love it. It feels great. The having this smile gave me so much confidence. I can walk in a room with anybody and feel like I can talk to them like I belong. Um, it feels great. It really feels great. I mean, it's the confidence it gives you is unbelievable. The When you start to talk to somebody, your face, your mouth is one of the first things they see. And we'll kind of we'll make assumptions about people by the smile we see. Fair or unfair, but you know what, like, but it's something we see, and to have a glowing, beautiful smile. I mean, it feels great. It feels really great.
It'll last forever too.
It'll last forever. I can't wait. Yeah.
You're doing amazing,
Great,
amazing.
great.
Thank you so
Of
much.
course,
And
no
one
problem.
last question really
Sure.
for you. If I was sitting here really on the fence about getting this done for whatever reason, financial, pain, anesthesia, what would you say to me to help me have this done? Like, how would you tell me how amazing this is that I should have it done, and I should
I
not be afraid of the
well,
pain or the finances, because they do help you with finances.
sure,
Right? They help
sure.
you finance. So,
Well,
what would you say?
I think I mean, when it comes down to it, you can't put a price on loving the smile you see in the mirror every day. Like, you can't put a price on being comfortable with who you are and being confident with who you are. And getting the surgery at Forever Smile, that was what that gave me back. And I feel like the best version of myself. I feel like I can do anything. I feel invincible now. And so if you're on the fence about getting the surgery, or if you're not sure if it's in your budget, and it wasn't in my budget when I first wanted it either, you lose nothing by setting up a consultation. Go to the office, meet with Dr. Vibert, meet with the team there, and go for the consultation. Ooh, uh-oh. Ooh,
Oh my
it's okay.
Every time, Lisa.
Oh
God
no.
damn it.
Oh
I
no.
wanted to take my dog out.
It's okay.
Oh my God, and
That's
that
all
was
right.
so great.
Oh, that's okay.
Sorry.
No, that's okay.
I'm
So
so
no,
sorry.
that's okay.
Can you
So
finish this
sure,
sentence?
sure, sure. So let me see. So let's see. I'll say where I pick it up.
You were saying about
I was saying.
you were
So
saying you were telling me why
yes.
I shouldn't
Oh,
hold back,
gotcha.
why I should have it
So
done.
okay, sure,
Go
sure.
in for the
So
complimentary
sure.
consultation.
So if you're on the fence and you're wondering if this is something that's for you, or you're afraid that maybe it's not something in your budget, or I would tell you, definitely go in, set up a consultation, sit down with the team, meet Dr. Vibert, and let them show you what they can do for you. Go in and see this facility, meet these people, meet these professionals, because when you go in the building and you get this consultation and you see, um, you know, let me start that again. I'm running.
Yes, I was going to ask you
Yeah,
about the digital aspect and
sure.
how
The
that
digital,
impressed
sure. I
upon
mean,
you.
yeah,
So
the
all
full
the
3D
hundred
scan,
percent
everything. Yeah, yeah.
digital technology. So
Sure,
maybe when you walked in the
sure,
office and you see the
sure. Okay,
technology,
sure. Okay, so one of the things that struck me when I went in there, now obviously part of the problem that got me into this is I wasn't going to the dentist a lot lately anymore, and so I remember when I went in this office and they brought me in to take an X-ray, and they have this full digital scanner that goes around my head, and it's like taking this full scan. I was like, whoa, like I've never even seen this technology before, you know. So I mean, just the equipment they have there, the technology they're using. I mean, it's cutting edge. It's state of the art, And going in for a consultation, you're just going to arm yourself with knowledge. And you know what? If it's not there for you yet, maybe it can be soon, because it was for me. So if you go in, I think I think you're gonna see what a life changer this can be for you. And if you are in the minority like me, where it wasn't an option just yet, it'll give you the information you need to know what you're working toward. And so maybe you can clean up the things you got to clean up. You can get your finances in order, and you can do it, because I was able to do it, and here I am. So hey, oh great,
Bazinga!
bazinga, yeah, cool,
awesome.
awesome,
Oh
cool.
my God, I had the